All right. Hi, everyone. Welcome again to our monthly webinar series here at Hostaway. We're going to wait a few minutes to let everyone in. No, sorry, not a few minutes. We're going to wait exactly 1 minute to let everyone in. We're really excited here today because we have a new big announcement by Booking.com. This webinar will be recorded. If you're just listening in to find out if you can get the recording, yes, you can. It will be available on Hostaway's YouTube channel shortly. And we're gonna start right now. So welcome to the Hostaway webinar series, Payments by Booking.com. First of all, we're very proud to announce that today we are once again, for I think quite a few years in a row now, we're a premier partner of Booking.com here at Hostaway. We're also one of the only companies in the world that happens to be an elite partner of Vrbo and a Premier Plus with Airbnb. But we're really proud to introduce from Booking.com Luis Vilanova, and on our side we have Maria Lopez from our product team. So, but before we get into the subject, I wanted to say you can use the QA function here. We will try to answer questions. However, we will not be able to answer any account-specific questions. So if you need support with your account, either reach out to Booking.com or Hostaway separately. But if you have a generic question, we will do our best to answer it at the end of the webinar, as long as you use the QA function. All right, let's go to the next slide. I'll give a short introduction of Hostaway. So we have Hostaway has grown tremendously in the last couple of years, and we are today the leading all-in-one short-term rental software for property managers. We got offices now in 6 different locations, and I'm reporting live here from Southwest Florida, where we have a ton of customers. Everyone who's also here, welcome, and everyone who's not here, even more welcome. We have one value, is that our customer success is our success, and everything that we do, we're trying to focus on solving day-to-day problems for property managers by providing the best in-house built software. All right, now I'll hand over to Maria, who's reporting in from Barcelona.
Hello, everyone, from sunny Barcelona today. Finally, and a little bit warmer these days. So very happy to be here today. Actually, I'm very excited to be in this webinar and to be part of this presentation by Booking.com on the payment solution for property managers, because definitely one of the things, or one of the some of the biggest pain points that we've been hearing from our customers when managing payments related to failed payments, chargebacks, collecting taxes, remitting taxes, etc. I think that you will see that this solution provided by Booking.com, of which we are very proud to be premier partners, by the way, it's going to fit very well on your portfolio as well. A few of these solutions also that we will be talking about during this webinar that you already have in Hostaway, like rental agreements, managing security deposits. You will also be able to see here how well they work with Booking.com. So maybe without further ado, I will pass it to Luis to maybe briefly introduce yourself, Luis, and take it from here.
Hey, Maria and Marcos, thank you for having me during this session. I'm quite excited to show out this product that we are launching. Yes, my name is Luis. I'm based out of Brazil, Northeast Brazil. Like Maria said, it's sunny in Barcelona, and here it's always sunny. So yes, I'm working for Booking for the last 9 years, coming from the local partner service team. And for the last 5 years in the connectivity track, managing Hostaway account. Yes, very proud to be premier partners. That's awesome to hear. One thing that we're going to talk about today is payments by Booking. We're going to try to have some Q&A in the end of the session, so I'll try to keep an eye on time. But yeah, let's go for the deck pitch. And also, if you have any questions, please use the Q&A and we can go for it, okay, in the end. So what's Payments by Booking? Payments by Booking was created based on the needs of our partners and our guests. So you as a PM have shown some needs on the payments piece, but also we think in the full journeys, right? So we're talking about also the gas in the other end. So we built our platform, a trust platform, so guests feel confident that they can put the credit card and the payments are going to be correct. And also one big detail in the back end is sometimes when guests put the credit cards in our platform and the payment gets processed by the PM, by the property manager, sometimes the names are a little bit different. And that causes for some guests, like, oh, what's happening with my credit card? So this way we try to build a trust platform where Booking runs the payments and everything comes with Booking.com on the credit card. And with this solution leads to increase revenue security, decrease in cancellations, less fraudulent bookings and chargebacks, and reduce the costs. I will show a little bit ahead in the next slides that we are not charging to have this payment solution for you until the end of the year. For the next, how do payments work? So it's very simple. By the time that you join payments by Booking, the partner will have the guest will have the option during the payment, during the checkout process. If you're on payments by Booking, we offer a full range of credit cards, all the payments options that we have in place, and the guests can choose each one of them, the one that they prefer to use. After that, Booking will process the credit card. We check everything in the background, and later on, we're going to send payouts for the property managers. I will explain a little bit later on how the payouts are done and the time. For next, why join payments by Booking? So we see a decrease in cancellations in 14% and no shows in 83%. And from that, we see that maximizing payment convenience and security, enhanced fraud and chargeback protection, increased visibility to attract new guests. Today, during your operations, some of you that are not on payments may see and may notice that by the time you get a reservation, you have to follow the policy that you have in place. And it's like when to charge, how much to charge. And that sometimes gets some operational hassles for you. And we're removing all that with this solution. A secure experience for partners, as I was saying, we're going to handle cancellations, no-shows, invalid credit cards, fraudulent payments, and chargebacks in the most. Sometimes today, if you don't have any payment solutions, you get the credit card, you have to go through all those processes. Even one that's not mentioned here is just like sometimes when guests change the dates for the stays and you agree on that, it means for some partners that you have to, do all the reconciliation and also the payments that's based on the policies that you have in the background. So we are trying to remove all that operational tasks for you. For guests, like I said in the beginning, if you have one or two or three options of credit cards that you can display in the front end, that's what you're able to process in your end. Booking.com will step in and will show like all types of payments that we have available. PayPal, major credit cards, and everything you can find, globally. And we will take care of that payments. One thing for guests here is, like I mentioned also in the beginning, is that sometimes when the payment's done and the credit card is put in there and it's processed by the vendor, let's say like this, by the property manager, the name is different from Booking.com. If that's a reservation that was made like in a huge booking window way in advance, and later on you just get a credit card notification, say XYZ processed your credit card, charging you this, not all the time you recognize that's coming from the booking that you made. So also for guests, it's secure because they're only gonna see Booking.com in their credit card statement, which makes it easier for them to identify for the reservation. For the next, a few key benefits, like I mentioned, decrease cancellations and no-shows as guests are using a trust platform for payments, secure revenue and streamline operations, reduce all operational issues around payments, how much to charge and when to charge based on your policy conditions, avoid invalid credit cards and fraudulent payments. I could also add here, a big key point that's around chargebacks. So you're going to be handling all of this. Guaranteed payouts with reduced cost transactions. So as I mentioned, we are not charging for you to use this tool. As of right now, until the end of 2023, there will be no charge. Probably somebody is going to pop up and asking, what about next year? We don't have a guideline set yet. Probably we'll keep as it is, but we don't know yet. That's not something that we cannot that we can guarantee. And increase availability to attract new guests. This is very specific for the US. If you're in the US, if you have properties, if you sign up for the payments by booking, you're going to get increased visibility by the system, right? It also applies globally, as we have people from all over the globe listen to us right now and watching us. But for the globally, we do have different types of payments in place that can be opted in. But for the US right now, as we are putting our focus, you get 10% more bookings is what data is showing us since we launched the payments by booking tool. Next one is how to join payments by booking. Check your email. Probably if you you received some email about that, that was the very beginning of the year, probably. If not, that's not a problem. You can log into your extranet or your group account. In the extranet, you can go to the finance tab and you have online payments, and that will show you available solutions for you. If you're in the US or anywhere in the world, a solution might be there and you can opt in. Just to explain a little bit, there are different types of payment solutions. Payments by booking, as we talk here, is one available in the US right now. It's also available in very different countries, but as we are global, it may change if you're in Europe or certain place of Europe or Asia. So yes, you can go to the extranet, you can check the email or go to the extranet or your group account, and under the payment sections, you're gonna see online payments option. One thing to highlight here is if you go to your group account, if you have many different properties, you can use one single login to opt in for your whole portfolio if that's available for you. Okay, and also be aware that all payments are processed via Stripe. That means that you need to create an account in Stripe to be able to receive those payments. Okay, and yes, you can change. Even if you want to, okay, I want to try it for certain part of the portfolio, you can try, you know, for some groups and not for the others. It's up to you to choose who you enable payments in the group accounts. Next, there are a few screen shares that you may see. So this is an example of the email that was sent as soon as the feature was launched. But as I said again, always under the finance tab, you can find all the information that you need. This one here is like, we do have a know your process to be compliant. We do have a know your process, know your partner, that's the KIP that you see here. So you have to go through that process. It's one time that you go through it just to make sure that everything is secure, that all the information are right and accurate. And also to make sure that, you know, when you go over the Stripe, all the banking accounts are correct to grant that your payments are going to be done correctly in your currency and in the banking account that you choose for. A few screens that you may face while signing up for Stripe. As I said, all the payments background goes via Stripe. So this is really necessary if you want to have the payment solutions enabled for your products. For the next, adding, this is an example for the group extranet. So if you have more, you know, if you have 1+ properties, you have a group account. And from there, you can book, opting in for those properties. You just need to choose which ones you want to opt in and the ones that have the possibility to run on payments by booking. I'm talking a little bit fast, but if you have any questions, please reach out to our team. We're going to be glad to guide you through these steps, but I would like to bring here also for you to see a little bit on how it goes. Once you sign up, here also shows what is signed up on the right hand. The lower screenshot, you see when properties are signed up, what's in process, what's applying. As you can see there's one that's in red, that's failed. Probably that property specific ID is not eligible for the payments by booking solution. Again, and once you're on payments by booking, and here is good to highlight that by the time that you opt in, new reservations are going to be processed by us, but anything that you have back before opting in is still in the same process that you have today. So if you're on the process that you go collecting credit cards from gas and processing yourself, then it's still like this for the old reservations. For the new reservations, after you opt in, we're going to take care of everything. And if you go to your group extranet and see the summary of your reservations, it's going to be shown like in the screenshot, like paid online, meaning that we are taking care of that for you. And on this one here is like all about payout. So you're going to be receiving the money is going to be transferred for you directly in your bank account that you choose in the currency of your country that you determined when you went through Stripe. The payout is going to be on gross, meaning there is no commission deduction here. All the payouts are done on check-in dates. So if I'm checking in today, or if you have several properties and you have like 10 reservations checking in today, we are going to run a single payout today for all the 10 reservations for you. Those payouts will land in your banking account. It takes 1 to 3 days to be there. And please note for the last bullet point that we do not collect damage deposit. So if you have that set in place, this is something that you need to agree with the guest. Main reason behind that sometimes is because damage deposit is something that you return to guests if it's not used. So we don't process damage deposit fees.
Yeah, just a reminder to the Hostaway customers out there that this is, of course, functionality that Hostaway can help you automate. And to those of you who are not Hostaway customers, this is the reason why you want to be a Hostaway customer.
Yep. Moving for the next slide. Also on the payment, so daily upon check-in date for those reservations, you're going to receive a CSV file that is going to take the whole information together, right? So all the reservations will come in one file. When you run some tests, we plan to do, okay, by reservation, but that's too much information. So we got feedback, and now we merge the whole thing, and every day you get a CSV files with all the reservations checking in on that date and the payment amounts that's going to be transferred, that's being transferred to you. Here's some example on the guest app checkout journey. So one thing just to show here is like that you have the payment, choose the payment online. Sorry, not the payment online. You can choose any credit cards, you fill in your informations, reservations are done. Guests will see the information in the front end that we are handling payments, showing that it's processed by us. And next, a desktop version. So it's the confirmation that everyone is used to see whenever you get a reservation. If you're on Booking.com platform, you might be quite familiar with this type of screen. The guests get this one when he finishes the reservation, you get a confirmation in your end. If you're not connected to a channel manager, I highly recommend Hostaway, and they can process the whole information that comes on the reservation. And key takeaways for this payments by booking section is like decrease fraudulent bookings, invalid credit cards, cancellations, and no-shows. Secure and protects revenue. So sometimes it's like you have a reservation that's very far away from today, like a very long booking window, just to make sure that everything is handled by us. So you don't need to have calendars or anything like that reminding you when to charge or anything like that.
I think that we might have lost Luis.
Yeah. It's possible that we lost Luis here, but that's okay. So we can probably dig into some of the questions here. What do you think, Maria? I have at least a few questions that we can answer. So first of all, Tracy, you asked us, can Booking.com be integrated in Price Labs? No, that's why we're having this webinar. What you need is a channel manager. What I would recommend, although some may say I'm slightly biased, is to use Hostaway. It's an excellent way for you to get to use any technology you want and also automate your business. Stephen asked us, said they're currently not using booking.com. Can they be merchant of record? Yes, that is an option. You do not have to use payments by booking.com. You can still be merchant of record. And if you happen to be a Hostaway customer, this is extremely easy because through Hostaway, you can automate the payments, you can automate collecting IDs, you can automate signing the rental agreements and security deposits. And if, for example, you don't receive a working credit card from the guest, you can even cancel the reservation within our dashboard. So you don't need to log into booking.com. And this is exactly why it's a good idea to use a channel manager for your business. Kevin had a question on whether the commission is taken out on the payout or charged separately. It is charged separately. All right, Maria, did you see any questions?
No, maybe remind everyone about deposits and security deposits. So at Hostaway, you have two ways of doing this. You can set up a refundable deposit for your reservation and then go refund it or not charge it during the reservation. Or you can use also our payment services to create holds on for security deposits. But we can explain that further down later on because we have Luis back.
Hey, I'm back. I got kicked off. I don't know my internet, you know. So home office setup is still.
That's okay. It happens when it shows that it's live and definitely not a recording. So we answered a couple of questions here, but if you want, we can continue with the presentation.
Okay, Marcus, do you remind where we stopped, where you lost me?
Let's see here.
Because I think I was, I'm not sure when I got, you know, when I froze or when you lost me. I think it was something around here, maybe. Yeah,
basically the key takeaways.
Okay, so just let me recap on this one. So the main point here with the key takeaways is decreased fraudulent bookings, as I mentioned before, cancellations, credit card process. If guests change the reservation, if you have a long booking window, and we're going to be able to handle all those kind of things, right? Sometimes today, just to give you a real example, is just like invalid credit cards. If you get a reservation, you have an invalid credit card, you have to go back to the process and say, okay, this card is not valid. Then you have to go back to cancel or not, meaning that you're also asking the guests to put a new card in there. So we wanted to remove that friction from guests and from you taking care of the payments. Secure and protects revenue, like I mentioned, long time booking window. If it's too much ahead, you probably need to have some flags on your side to charge the credit card when you need to charge it, or to check the credit card when you can check the credit card. And no, we're removing that. We're taking away, and we are taking care of that for you. Maximize payment convenience and security. That's pretty much like on the guest journey for checkout. You're going to see all that. If you're payments by Booking, you're going to see all the options that Booking can take, right? So if you only have like 2, 3, 4, those kind of payments. And to finish up, you get more control, more guest choices, and secure more revenue. I think that now we can jump for the Q&A.
All right, thank you very much for Luis for the presentation. We got over 100 questions here already, and we're not going to be able to answer all of them, but we will take a try at this. I do have to make a disclaimer here. First of all, Booking.com is a publicly traded company. Luis is an employee of the company, and we are recording this webinar. What this means is that we cannot put him in a position where he is being asked a question that he doesn't know whether he's allowed to answer or not. But to make this as easy as possible, me and Maria on behalf of Hostaway, we can try to answer as much as possible, and then Luis can jump in or leave a comment. And yeah, first of all, before we go to the questions, I see that there's a lot of or some confusion here on whether you have to use this or not. So first of all, it's opt-in. You do not have to use payments by Booking.com. At the same time, not everyone has the chance to use it. And I think Luis can comment on that soon. But I just want
Yeah.
to remind everyone that you can also just use Hostaway. You can also get payments processed on Hostaway, and you can do everything that you're doing today. So you don't have to switch to Booking.com. This is an extra service provided on Booking.com. But like I said, Luis, a lot of questions here are related to, I didn't receive the email, or I don't have it available in my dashboard. Can someone call me and tell me how I get availability? Could you comment a bit further on who has access to this and who doesn't?
Sure. So this is focused primarily in the US. That doesn't mean that you don't have access globally. Yes, you do have access globally. Not all properties are eligible for everyone, like Marcus mentioned before, and that was really nice to say, okay, some of you can opt in and some of you don't have available. You can always find information under the financial tab, online payments, that can be in your extranet for your single ID. Or if you have a group account also under the financial, you're gonna see the option there. So like you mentioned, it's not available for everyone, but even around the globe, we do have different solutions that we can provide to our partners. Meaning sometimes it's a virtual credit card, sometimes it's payment by booking, as I just explained, and sometimes it's going to be, you know, hosts that don't get credit cards, they only get cash and bank transfers. So yes, and how to talk with us in your extranet, in your group account, there's always a question mark. In your extranet, you can go to the inbox, and there you can drop us a message. We usually answer that message within 24 hours. But you can also use your group inbox, your group account and inbox, and we also get the message. That's the better way to do that, to communicate with us.
Thank you very much, Luis. There's a question here from Sarah. She asks if this eliminates the property manager's necessity to have a Stripe account. It can, if you're not a fan of making money, and if you're planning to use only Booking.com. So having any payment processing capabilities open up a world of opportunity for a property manager. If you're only making today a percentage of the nightly rate, you're probably not doing very well because you are leaving a lot of money on the table. What you can do is you can, if you're a Hostaway user, you can set up a Stripe account. You can upsell additional services to customers. You can set up your own website, get direct bookings. You can process those. You can even charge an extra fee for the owners. Just like Booking.com is charging for their services, you can charge for your own website services. The services that you're offering today to guests for free, many of those guests are willing to pay for it. For example, an early check-in, a late checkout. These are things that you can do, and that money can go directly in your pocket, unlike the daily rates, which you probably share with the owner of the property. So while it does eliminate the need for a Stripe account in some situations, I'm not entirely sure why you would like to limit your ability to make money, because, well, yes.
And just right, Marcos, if you're planning to opt in for the payments by booking, you need to have a Stripe account in the background. So
it's
yes,
one of the questions that I see here a lot as well. Do they have to do anything if they have a Stripe account? How is that going to work?
No, so if they're already onboarded in the Stripe account, by the time that they sign up for the payments by booking, they just need to reconcile to put the same information, right? So it's a merge on the accounts, and that account is going to be processing everything that comes in our end as well.
There's a bit of a technical question here that I don't know the answer to, and it might even be that Maria and Luis don't know the answer, so I'm sorry to put you on the spot. But what different cancellation policies are available through Hostaway for managing Booking.com? Can you set it up so that it's non-refundable, or can you set it up with different cancellation parameters? Once again, I'm sorry if I put you on the spot, but maybe Maria or Luis, you have some insights.
Do you want to go for it, Maria? You're on mute. Yeah.
Yes, so we support the most common cancellation policies for Booking.com, but these have to be set actually they can be set on the listing level for Hostaway, and we support a strict 100% refund up to 28 days before arrival, firm, moderate, flexible, and no refund as well.
Yes. There's one question here, Marcos, that I would like to take. One of the questions that I see here coming is like, can you send the payments? Can Booking send the payments deducting the commission? Actually, this is not possible as of right now. It's not due to us, but to legislation and taxes and all those kind of things and rules that we have in place. So as of right now, we don't offer, if you're on payments by Booking, we don't offer the option. We're going to do the bank transfer with the full amount, and afterwards we have the commission charge.
Thank you, Luis. There's a question here from Danny. He's and a few others. I think this is one of those questions that that Luis probably won't be allowed to answer, and I can't give an answer either because I don't know. But what I am probably allowed to do is take an educated guess. So Danny here is asking. He says he has 3 properties on Booking.com, and only one of them is available for payments by Booking, and the others are not. He finds this frustrating, and he's wondering if this will change in the future. Like I said, I don't think we'll get an official answer from Booking.com on this one. But what I would say is that if I was Booking.com, I would be rolling this out in the fastest and safest and smoothest way possible, while measuring and securing the maximum success rate. And by doing that and making it successful, it could be later on. Well, the way I would do it is I would narrow it down to have it on the properties that are most likely to succeed in this. And if I can do that, I can later expand it. That's what I would do if I was Booking.com, which once again, I am not.
Yeah, and just to add that to that, Marco. So payment solutions, you know, are a little bit different. There's a lot of legislation in the background, so it's a hot topic globally. Let's say like this. So as much options you can offer is more you can get out from the customers that's out there. So it's a very good question. And for the one that I mentioned, that's like one property is in, 2 others are not available, please send a message to us. We can see that on a case and try to explain to you directly why and why not available for those properties.
There's a good question here from Castin. What are other payment options? And I know this question may seem strange to some of you out there that are used to just one payment option. But I can list a few on the top of my head. Some property managers in some locations, they meet every single guest. This can be, for example, luxury properties. Taking a deposit before arrival and taking payment on site is one option that I've seen. You can get a so-called point of sale POS system and just swipe the credit card right there as you are signing the rental agreement and checking the IDs of everyone, just like you would at a hotel. Other payment options, sometimes we see local alternatives. For example, people have bank transfers. Perhaps PayPal is not the best one to use, but there's in some markets there are similar solutions that are secure, fast, and work very well. You can always use the Hostaway guest portal to collect payment if you didn't receive a credit card. And one thing that I really enjoy with Booking.com is that if you fail to collect the payment with your own terms, then you can simply cancel the booking, and that will make sure that you only have paid bookings on the system.
There's one last question. Sorry, Mary, do you want to add something?
It's just one question from Maria here. That's Maria. Hello. It's so it's something that we hear as well from our customers. That they receive several statements. Is there any way to facilitate one monthly statement, etc., that they could have access to?
Actually, from our end, and from feedback that we got since we launched payments, no, because all the statements that goes out is based on a bank transfer daily on the check-in date, like I mentioned. And for the statements, you can always go to the extranet or the group extranet. And by the end of the month, you're going to have the full file on all those reservations. But we'll keep sending, daily, so it makes it easy to control, as it's a CSV file, and you can easily consume and organize. But if you go back to the extranet or your group account, you're going to see the full statement per month.
I've got a technical question here for Luis from Samuya. How can we? Oh, sorry, no. Basically, Sorry, from Fala, how can I keep payments as the only payment option for guests? So basically, if you choose payments by booking.com, is there any other way guests can book, or will that make sure that the only way to book is truly by paying through booking.com?
Again, it depends on the location. We do have different payments options, but if you opt in for payments by booking, that means that we're going to be handling the whole payment, right? So in the front end, they have like different options for credit cards and anything that we can process as booking.com. And in the background, meaning you as property manager, you just need to sit down and watch, because you're going to be processing the whole payments and doing bank transfers. There will not be an exception, let's say like this. There will not be like a guest that will book using payments by booking and the other one will not. So everything goes on payments by booking.
All right, and there's still a lot of questions if this is available, if it's available for me. It is available for eligible properties, and if you have very few properties, it may only be available for 0 out of them. And but yeah, please check out on your extranet. One technical question here from John: is it possible to have a different payout account for each property? I'm guessing the answer is no, because those payments are collected together. This is actually a good reminder. If you're operating in a state where you are managing other people's properties, and that state may have regulations that say that you are not allowed to manage the money that belongs to the owner of the property. In other words, you have to use trust accounting, and the way you can achieve that, to hold that money in trust, is by making sure it goes directly to the owner. In this case, you would likely want to use a system like Hostaway and connect multiple payment processing or Stripe accounts to Hostaway, one for each owner. And this is a fairly popular setup, because that ensures that you at no point in time are breaking the law, and also you are not actually owning any of that money that belongs to the owners. And what you do at the end of the month, you just collect the commissions from the owners. So in other words, if you want separate bank accounts for each property, the payments by booking.com won't work for you, but you can achieve the same outcome through Hostaway. We seem, Luis, to have a lot of questions here about both Latin America and Canada. I'm not entirely sure if you're able to comment on those.
Yeah, so if payments is related to Latin America, so what we're trying is to expand payment solutions globally, right? But we do have different situations, tax situations, legislations, and all the laws that comes behind that. So it's not a very easy step. But for example, I can tell for Brazil, as I'm here, so I know a little bit specifically for Brazil, that we do have some payment solutions in place, but we are fast moving globally. So our plans is to have, everywhere we can offer a payment solutions, but it's not as easy as, it's not like switching a light on or off due to legislation for every country. And sometimes some countries goes deeper on different states, like in the US, right?
That's a very good point. It's not as easy as saying, is it available in Brazil or is it available in Canada, because there's so many factors involved there. Including even what type of how are you signed up? Are you a company or a private person, and so on? There's an unlimited swamp of factors here to determine whether a property is eligible. But good to hear that the aim is to eventually roll it out everywhere. Sarah also had a good question here. If you offer trip insurance for owners to access damage, trip insurance for I guess owners. Perhaps Maria, would you like to take that one, or should I take it?
Maybe you take it.
Yeah, so insurance often comes up. It's something that when you're using Hostaway, you can set up additional fees for every booking, or you can simply pay for this insurance by charging it inside the nightly rate. And if you're wondering, well, who ends up paying, you can actually have, depending on how you set up your financial reporting and your owner reports, you can put it in there. So if you want to offer your owners bookings from booking.com that are fully insured, you can choose any of our of our insurance partners on our marketplace. You go to hostaway.com/marketplace, and then they have different pricing models, different options, but a typical pricing is that they have a fixed price per booking, and you can simply add that there and have the owner or the guest pay for it, so that you make the same amount of money, but you get more bookings, higher occupancy rates, and that way you get fully covered stays. There's quite a few questions here about insurance. I hope that was clear. And if you have any more questions about that, just contact Hostaway's support. Now, Rod here has a good question. Is this payments by booking only available if you're connected through a PMS? I'm guessing the answer is that it's available on per property basis, but Luis, are you able to answer that?
Yes, that's true. That's based on ID level, meaning on property level. If you're using a PMS or not, it doesn't make difference, right? Because on the way we want to, like I mentioned in the beginning, we want to facilitate for property managers to handle all the payments, and we want to make sure that we offer guests all the payments types available. So it doesn't matter if you are connected to a PMS or not. If you're eligible, you still have the opportunity to sign up.
All right. Do we have any more? I'm checking the questions here, and I see a lot of questions that already have been answered.
Yep. There's one specific that comes from Marcos as well. So he's asking why in Brazil payouts are doing monthly. And Marcos, as I mentioned, there's a few times it's just like it's based on the legislation. It's not something that we can just jump in and change. So we try to evolve and go on a fast pace to have the solution everywhere, but sometimes the local bureaucracy will hold us back a little, and that's why, for example, in Brazil, it's a monthly payment and not on check-in date payment.
Thank you. I'm also answering a few of these by writing. Maria, do you have any questions that are left unanswered that you'd like to take?
No, I actually answered most of the questions that I saw. Good. So been scrolling up and down, but no.
All right. Just a reminder, I thought I made it clear already, but I see some questions. So a lot of people are asking on whether this means that Booking.com or Hostaway manages payments. No, it's all up to your decision. I mean, if you want to use Hostaway to manage this, you can continue to do so. And if you want Booking.com to manage the payments, you can do that, but you can also do best of both worlds. So you can have Booking.com manage the payments for the booking, but then you use Hostaway to manage the security deposit, for example.
Yes, and even have Hostaway managing payments, because not all OTAs, not all channels will offer a payment solution. So it means every booking that comes from booking.com and you're on payments, you're going to process that. We pass on the information to Hostaway. So it comes with the right tag showing that was paid online, that we are taking care of that. But of course, you want to keep as much possible, as much options as you want. And of course, you don't only use booking.com, right? There are other channels out there, and you want to make sure that all the payments that comes for all the channels get processed the right way. So yeah, I recommend that if you can, you keep both.
All right, I'm checking the questions. There seem to be a lot of duplicate questions here. And Maria, Luis, do we have any more questions we want to answer?
There is only one here, Marcus, that comes from Danielle. My group page says I'm eligible, but I can't see where to activate this. So once, Danielle, we finish the webinar, Hostaway is going to post the webinar. So on the slide decks that I went through, there is a step-by-step where you can activate that. So we have screenshots as an example. But just go over your group extranet, select it under the financial, select the purpose that you want to sign up and opt in. But you can review that on the slide deck as soon as it's published.
All right. Well, I think that's it. So thank you everyone for joining. I hope to see you again next month, and I hope you go and try out the payments-by-booking.com. If you need help activating booking.com, if you haven't used it in the past, we here at Hostaway are more than happy to help you. Reach out to support@hostaway.com. If you're not a Hostaway user yet, go to hostaway.com and sign up and see if we're a good solution for managing all your vacation rental operations with. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you very much, Maria. Thank you very much, Lise, for joining.
I thank you for having me here. And yes, whenever you see there is a good opportunity for us to talk with this great audience, just let me know and I'll be glad to bring some more information.
Thank you. And maybe just remind everyone that this webinar will be on our Hostaway channel on YouTube in a few hours. So if you miss anything, just make sure you check our Hostaway site on YouTube and catch up on the latest there.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day, morning, or night. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.